Amazing, amazing, amazing. I read every single one of these statements in the chat and I'm blown away. Blown away. Incredible. Incredible. Love it. Love it. Love it. So that's step one. Dream it. Dream it. Dream it. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to dream. Now, what do we do next? So, next step is important because here's the thing. There's a part of you now that is very consciously, it wants something. But then we have a set of unconscious beliefs that can hold us back, that can pull us back. And as David Hawkins says, the unconscious will only allow us to have what we believe we deserve. And if we're not conscious, if we're not mindful, that negativity bias, that conditioned mind that makes us hold a smaller self-image of ourselves, that will get in the way, and it will make us have less, and we don't want that. We don't want that. So what do we do about our limiting beliefs? Now, here's the thing with when it comes to our beliefs. How do you know what's getting in your way? Sometimes you're aware, sometimes it's hard to even know what is holding me back. So instead of figuring out what is holding you back, we're going to do something different. We're going to do something different. We're going to take a different stance. So here's what we're going to do. So I asked you this question yesterday. What do you notice on the screen? And we all for all of us, our eyes went on 23, because that's where we are conditioned. We're conditioned to look at that number, right? It's off. It's wrong. And every part of us wants to fix it. It doesn't belong. And instead of looking at what is wrong, what is missing, we're going to shift our focus. Here's what we're going to do. So here, let me give you a personal example. So even until a couple of years ago, I would, even though I was very aware, I would always let the comparison trap get the best of me. I would, for example, if I see, somebody else who's doing something, let's say is doing something similar, and they've done something phenomenal, I would always take that example to then look at myself and think, what am I not doing that I am that I don't have that? What's wrong with me? What I need to be doing more. I'm not doing enough. So I would always make it to mean something negative about me. Whenever I would get into, whenever I would compare myself to others, not whenever, but it would happen often enough to the point where it was just really, really, I knew it's holding me down. It's holding me back. And so I discussed this with one of my mentors. So here's Sri Kumar Rao. Maybe some of you are familiar with him. He was our keynote speaker for our annual Conscious Woman Summit in 2021. And I had this conversation with him then, and I asked him, look, I know I want to make the biggest impact I can possibly make in the world. I want to help as many women as I can help. Tell me, how do I do that? How do I do that? Because I do, here are the things that are getting in my way. For example, this tendency for me to always think I'm not doing enough, that I should be doing more. And he, in his characteristic style, very gentle, very wise, goes to me, okay, here is an exercise I want you to do. For the next 10 days, you're going to do this for the next 10 days. I want you to every single day look for signs that you live in an abundant universe. I want you to look for signs that you live in an abundant universe. So the sincere and enthusiastic student that I am, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this every single day, and I'm going to report back to you. And so I do this exercise, and I'm actively seeking. I'm looking every single day from morning till night. I'm looking where I wanna document these signs of abundance. So there were a couple of things, a couple of areas where I was feeling stuck at that time. One was I was trying to figure out my brand. Like, what is the best way I can really create a clear brand? And I was feeling kind of stuck. And then I remember on day one, I was scrolling through LinkedIn, and I came across a profile of someone I deeply admire. And it just opened up my imagination. I'm like, wow, this is it. This is it. This is how I would like to brand myself. And so for me, on day one, that was like, I'm like, okay, the universe is listening. It has given me the first sign of abundance. The second day, so I'm in Singapore now, and there's this really lovely antique store by my house, and every time I would walk past, I'd be like, oh my god, I love everything inside this store. I want to buy everything inside the store. And but of course, I want to be conscious of how I spend, and how I consume. And so I would just admire it from a distance. And then on day two, I kid you not, I'm walking past the same store, and I see signs plastered all over the windows. We are closing down. Everything must go. Everything is 50% off or less. And I'm like, wow, the same store. It's for like 7 months straight. I would be like looking at it and thinking, gosh, if only I could go inside and at least pick out one item. So the universe gave me the second sign of abundance. And then on day, at that time, and especially it was again just being the economic slowdown and whatnot, there was we lost one major client, and so I was feeling really bummed out about that. And then on day three, someone reaches out to me who had actually who had been in touch with me many years ago, and she initiated this conversation, and at the end of it, basically, she said she wants to bring us on to run a whole series of sessions for her organization, for especially for leadership, to change the culture of the organization. And I was like, amazing, because that's exactly, I mean, that was exactly the challenge, the kind of challenge I wanted. So day three, again, I got another sign of abundance from the universe. And sure enough, because I was not only looking for what is missing, or in all the ways in which there's not enough-ness in the world, but I was looking for signs of enough-ness. I was looking for, okay, what's working, where how am I enough, what's helping me. More slowly I started to shift my belief. And to this day, this is now 2 years now, in my among the 21 habits that I track my values, as you can see there. I also track, I'm still to this day tracking for signs of abundance. And most of the time it's a check. Sometimes it's neutral if I don't really see anything that truly excites me, and I'll give an X only if on the days, because we all have days when we feel completely bummed out and we even refuse to look at any signs of abundance. But I'm still tracking this, and that's how I shifted this belief that actually, yes, we do live in an abundant universe. I live in an abundant universe where someone's success does not need to mean that I am not doing enough. They can do amazingly well, and I can do amazingly well, and the person next to me can do amazingly well. And there is enough and more for all of us. There's enough and more for all of us to have, to dream. And so that's how I shifted. That's how I shifted my belief. So here is what I want to ask you. Go back to your dream. Go back to your dream. I will become, you shared with all of us in the chat, I will become the world's leading expert in whatever your dream is. I want you to ask yourself, what is a belief that will support you in making this come true? What will support you in making this come true? Would it be to believe I am enough? Would it be to believe I am capable? Would it be to believe I'm confident? The universe is abundant. I am blessed. I don't know what it will be for you, but I want you to think about, what will that be for you? What is that belief that if you continue to remind yourself day after day after day after day, and you and just like the exercise Dr. Rao gave me, I'm going to give you the same exercise. Pick that belief, and for the next 10 days, go look for evidence to support this belief. Go look for evidence to support this belief. All right? Let me give you a few minutes. Write down, what is a belief that will support you in making this come, in making your dream come true. What would be that belief for you? So what we're doing here is, we're not trying to figure out what is necessarily holding me back, but instead we're looking ahead and just asking ourselves from a positive inquiry, what will help me move forward? What is that one belief, if I have, will make all the difference? Make all the difference. I am resilient. I am capable. I love it. I am consistent. I am consistent. All right, keep them coming. Keep them coming. I am blessed. I am capable. I am authentic. I am blessed. I am made for more. I am unique. I am courageous. I am the luckiest person in the world. I am competent. I am made for this. I am blessed. Lovely, lovely. I am capable. I am enough. I am enough. I never give up. Great. So you look for evidence to support this belief. And what we teach you inside of our programs, because it's not just about doing this passively, we teach you how to actively create evidence to support your belief, which we're not going to talk about today. So the second step, you dream it, you believe it, you actively and proactively, not just passively, you actively and proactively keep strengthening that belief day after day after day after day. Now, the final one.